girls, children of all ages. I would like to wish you a hearty and solemn greetings and salutations to all my friends and family, fans and followers of the Zita, Zita Nation. Thank you for joining us for episode 75 of the Revolution. Only 25 more till 100. I am your host with the most from the east to the west coast, Emperor Zita. And I am coming to you from my favorite place in the world, the under construction Fortress of Solitude here in Etobicoke, Ontario, Canada. So, this week we have an update from Magz as she invaded the Fortress of Solitude to do her update in here. One of my favorite updates so far, Prince Anthony crawling this week and tons of Princess Katherine as always. Not much free time lately for movies or going on trips, but it's okay because I love where I work. I hope you guys come down, check me out. At Astoria we got a great staff. The place serves the best tzatziki in the entire province, probably all of Canada, and we have the most incredible wait staff I've ever worked with. Anyways, that is enough from me. Let's get on with the show. Rock and roll, baby. Here we go.
Okay, so Anthony is just about 8.5 months old now, and he is hilarious. He is getting a lot more mobile. He is crawling around on the floor, and he's getting a lot faster. I think he's going to be walking very soon. He's getting more familiar with new foods. He's eating a lot more solid foods and fruits, and now he's having scrambled eggs. We're just starting to mash regular food, and he's starting to eat pasta and stir-fried vegetables. We gave him today. News update, 11 weeks as of Monday that I go back to work. I'm looking very forward to going back and dealing with adults and not children. Very looking forward to that. That's my countdown beginning as of this week. Anthony is laughing a lot. Well, we still have just the one tooth with Anthony, so hopefully the next one comes in soon. I want him to get more teeth so he can start eating like regular foods. Enjoy the foods that we're eating instead of just like the pureed stuff and mashed stuff. And hopefully soon. Well, that's actually just about it.
So have another drink and give me all you got. Let me go. They come and rock your world. Let me go.
Pretty awesome. There were some definite highlights. I'm still missing out on Cena. I really do miss seeing John Cena on Raw. I don't know why. I can't fathom why I would, but the guy's pretty awesome. Everything's starting to build now. I'm hoping for Survivor Series. There are some classic 5-man tag matches. First of those matches I'd love to see would be Team Punk versus Team Heyman, with Paul Heyman actually getting back in the ring. Loving the stuff with CM Punk and his faction. Still not liking Ryback very much. Don't really like Axel either. But put them the two of them together with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, now that's what I call a faction. That's a true dangerous alliance. And I can't wait to see where CM Punk's character goes with this.
Excalibur time!
So Daniel Bryan led a team full of Raw superstars against the Shield on Monday and emerged victorious. He is over like Rover, like nobody's been over before. The yes chants are deafening, and he has definitely cemented himself as one of the top guys in the company. I really don't like him feuding with Orton. I just want him to get the title and to see someone else come after him. I really would like to see the corporation expand. Even though the Shield and Orton combined with Triple H is pretty awesome, but Triple H is not fighting at all. Now that's a match I'd pay to see. Triple H versus Daniel Bryan with Shawn Michaels in his corner.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
And on to my favorite part about this week. This week on Raw, we got to see Zack Ryder. That's right, Zack Ryder was on Raw.
Woo, woo, woo! You know.
We got to see him at the beginning of the show and in the main event. Unfortunately, he was speared by Roman Reigns while he was attempting a broski boot and eliminated as a third man by Roman Reigns in the match. Hey, but at least he wasn't the first man eliminated in the match. But at least Zack Ryder got on television.
I am serious, bro!
And as part of somewhat of a storyline, I'm just tingling with anticipation for what they have in store for him next. Maybe, just maybe, they'll pair him with Hornswoggle.
I'm just doing the butter. My mommy does it.
What?
That would trick. It would get fat, and it would so really it would get fat. Yes, it will, Papa. We don't want that for the house. I just want to feel inside. Do you want to feel the step with me? See, I got boo-boo on my finger. She's so messy. Why did you get paint on it? It's sparkly paint? Because to hurry up. Because it's going to be late for the bus. The nice song of fun. The love party. Playing with at the house center. Food and baby dolls. A quilt, blanket, listening center, table, a pot, wine can, and I got my own flowers. I got my own flowers. Myself. Pepper, the fun bird. I costed one.
Well, it is Comic Book Day. Hello, people. It is Comic Book Day. Welcome once again to the Zita Nation tradition. We are down here waiting at the bus stop, me and Prince Anthony, who's snoozing away. Crashed out before we even made it down there. So we're headed down to Excalibur Comics to see the Prophet and the Expert, find out what they have to say this week, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see another geek fight. So, we will see you soon, people. See you soon. So we're back down here at Rump, going up the steps of doom. Just me and Anthony. There's no more Katherine or the Empress. Steps of doom. He seems to enjoy it. Anyways, we'll see you guys inside and find out what the boys have to say.
This is Excalibur Comics, 3030 Bloor Street West, upstairs above the Kingsway Theater.
This week, what am I going to recommend? I'm going to recommend Marvel. Not that DC crap that they're shoving on our faces, but Marvel. Real Marvel. First off, Uncanny Avengers. Good stuff. It's got our favorite villain here, Kang, who eventually will surface eventually in the movies. Unfortunately, he doesn't have our favorite artist. He's gone to do Captain America. Moving on to the other Avenger book that just came out this week. Hickman and Francis, you are doing a terrific job on this one. Again, we're talking about it. The art is just marvelous. Beautiful stuff. I would highly recommend Avengers and Uncanny Avengers. Now, not to be completely prejudicial, also too I would recommend Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Because they're our favorite chick from Spawn, haha. So she's in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a nice good kick-ass issue, so. And then, not to forget, there are other guys that publish comic books, especially this guy's here. My favorite book right now from Dark Horse is King Conan, which is based on Hour of the Dragon, a novel that Robbie Howard wrote. And now they're doing the first half of the adaptation. The artwork in this is great stuff. So I would highly recommend to people, if you want a good sword and sorcery, not that Game of Thrones stuff where they sit around yapping most of the time, but good old slashing, knives hacking, bodies falling apart. This is the one for you, King Conan. And I would have my back issue to recommend to you, but unfortunately someone bought it for me. Back issues, the history of the Legion of Superheroes, really nice stuff. I would recommend that to you. If there's a copy out there, take a look at it. Some of the best artwork, Mike Grell, Dave Cochran, beautiful stuff. Okay, and that's it.
Talk about the shooter was in the Washington. I only heard bits and pieces. Basically, I guess he's more like a Manchurian candidate, and that he was brainwashed. He was hearing things. He said, "We all know there is technology where they can beam voices into your head." The CIA admitted that they had that technology 50, 60 years ago. I think they used that technology in 9/11 as well, because you rarely hear anybody say they saw the planes coming in, but they heard it. So they probably beamed the noise into the people surrounding the area, but they never actually saw the plane yet. And if they did, probably even might be a hologram. We all know they could beam holograms as well. In fact, I think one of the big universities in front of 300-400 kids, they had a professor talk to the kids, lecture them for 2-3 hours. At the end of the lecture, and none of the kids knew that they were actually looking at a hologram. Sort of sidetracked there. He was hearing voices, and he went to the hospital twice. The first time they gave him sleep, the second time they gave him mind-altering drugs. And as you know, most of the mass shootings in the last 10 years, all of them, it seemed, were taking mind-altering drugs. So it had a profound effect. And they say certain drugs, when you take it, you listen implicitly to what you're told, and you do whatever you're told. And maybe somehow that kind of drug that he took was one of those types of drugs where anything you hear, you would go ahead and do it. Well, he also etched in his gun, according to the Washington Post, that this is my ELF weapon. ELF, they said they didn't know what it was, but the Washington Post theorized that ELF stands for extra low frequency. So he was being extra low frequency to alter his mind, and he was hearing things. And they also talked, Washington Post also talked about HAARP and so forth, how they can use that to manipulate people's feelings and make them aggressive and so forth. In fact, some of the churches in the States, they've been ELF waves to the congregation. Natural state is the wavelength of the earth, 8.7 or something like that. But when you raise it to 11 hertz, you become agitated and you become very aggressive and so forth. ELF waves somehow altered this mindset, and he became very violent because all his family and friends couldn't believe he became like that. I think it's also another way to bring about to the public about gun control. So it's always every 3 months you'll hear a mass shooting from now on, and it will drive home the point that they should buy guns. Again, you know, if you look at Stalin, Mao, and so forth, Hitler, Idi Amin, all those countries, they took away the weapon, and all those countries begat onslaught of its citizens. So if America loses its weapon, and a dictator like any one of those I just mentioned, I'm pretty sure history will repeat itself.
Well, that is it. It's over. It's done. Finito. Another episode of the Zita Nation is in the books. Thank you for joining us here for episode 75 of The Revolution, and come back next week for episode 76 right here on YouTube. Go back and check out all of our other episodes right here on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel, one word, Emperor Zita, right here on YouTube. pick up your Drop Dead Pinups Electric Night CD. Check them out on iTunes and follow them on Twitter for all the news about their brand new album at Drop Dead Pinups. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Emperor Zita. And head down to Excalibur Comics for all of your comic book conspiracy theory related needs. And you will rest in peace.